So I've come to Sele Harbour. I'm just gonna do a little walk around and walk a little bit along the coastline here. Make a little vlog with the Canon R6 Mark II. I'm using the old EF 17 to 40 millimeter L lens. And this time I've turned on the enhanced digital stabilization to see if I can get some more stable shots compared to the other day I was out running around, hiding from the storm and the hail. So we have very nice weather today, clear blue sky, and 14 degrees Celsius, a slight breeze, so it's a little bit little chilly. So I'm shooting in 4K 50 frames per second. I set the shutter speed to 1/100 and the ISO is 800, and I have put on a variable ND filter. So this is I've set the lens to 17 millimeter, and since I'm using the enhanced digital stabilization, the shot is a bit too tight, I think, but it's okay. The f-stop is at 5.6. So out there on the island you can see the Firestein lighthouse. So the one thing I haven't quite figured out yet is how to set the correct f-stop. So I'm just testing out different f-stops. Now it's f8. Because when the shot is overexposed, I don't know what's best. If it's best to make the ND filter darker, or if I should just turn up the f-stop. So what I want to do, I want to walk over to the place where I turned back the other day when I was out walking in the heavy wind. Because now I'm approaching it from the opposite direction, from Sele Harbour. It's a very nice and quiet evening. It's 6 p.m. Only a slight breeze. So I think or hopefully the audio will be much better compared to that other video where I had to hide the microphone under my raincoat, which made it very muffled. So today I'm shooting in full manual settings, because I'm trying to learn how to adjust the different settings myself, trying to figure out about the f-stop, how to use the ND filter. The only problem I've had with this ND filter is that sometimes it if the light hits the lens from the side, I get some pretty bad discoloring of the sky, with some dark, almost like dark shadows in the sky, which doesn't look very pleasant. Looks like we have low tide today. So now I have adjusted the lens to 35mm, and I want to make a little walking shot where I'm just filming a point of view clip, but it is just to see if it makes any difference when I kind of zoom in compared to when I'm using the 17mm setting. It's not easy to keep a steady walk here, because I'm walking on these pebble stones. There's a helicopter. So back at 35, and I'll continue my little walking experiment. I can see on the screen that the footage gets more wobbly with this focal length, so I'm just gonna go back to 17mm, and so I can compare. So this is 40mm, I like to come to this spot whenever I'm testing out different type of lenses, because this kind of shot with all the rocks and different colors and all the shadows can be quite challenging for a lens. So it's a good opportunity to just test out what the different lenses can do under these kind of conditions. As you can imagine, it's not the easiest place to walk, because all these stones keep rolling and moving whenever you step on them. So this place is also very interesting from a geological perspective, because all these rocks and pebbles and stones, they were brought to the coast by the large glaciers during the last ice age. So they were chipped off the mountains inland and just pushed and dragged all the way to the coast. And when the ice cap was on its thickest, the edge of the ice ended somewhere far out there in the ocean. And when the glacier started to pull back around 10,000 years ago, all those stones were left out there in the ocean, and then during the last 10,000 years the waves have pushed them back onto shore, and that's why they are all rounded off like this, because they've been grinding against each other's under the surface of the ocean. I don't know if if those are interesting facts for any of you watching, but I find it quite interesting. So the first people that settled Norway, they came after the end of the last ice age, and they settled along this strip of coast first, because the ice was still covering most of the inland. So if you see the light flicker, it's because I keep trying to adjust the ND filter, just because I want to test out and see what the ND filter does, and if what I'm seeing on the little screen is accurate or not. I won't know that until I watch the footage on my computer or my iPad later. So as you can see, all the sand dunes, even on this beach, are covered by this very special type of grass. And This grass is very useful because it binds the sand and prevents the sand from just blowing inland, creating problems for all the farmers, because just behind those sand dunes there are a lot of fields where they are growing different types of crops or growing grass to feed the livestock. Some of these boulders have a very red or orange tint, a rust color of some sorts, so it's probably from iron inside of the rock, or that's at least my guess. So all this dead seaweed has been ripped from the ocean floor by the heavy waves during the storms, and now it's just rotting on shore here, giving this place a very distinct smell. It's not too bad, but I can certainly smell it. And I have read somewhere that in the early to mid 1800s they used to burn this seaweed for different purposes. One of them was to produce iodine. And some of these seaweeds were actually used for human consumption. I don't know how they used it. Maybe they grounded them up to some kind of seaweed flour or something. So walking on this pebblestone beach is actually good exercise because it's quite tiresome, quite heavy, even though I'm walking slowly when I'm filming, but I need to focus on every step I take. And we are getting closer and closer to sunset. So I actually made a huge discovery just now, because on the on and off switch there's a lock setting, and I never figured out what the purpose of that lock switch was, but now I understand, because in some of my previous videos I've been complaining about the fact that whenever I'm filming these walking shots and carrying the camera and moving around, very often I accidentally turn a dial or hit a button, and ruin my settings. But when I'm using when I have the lock turned on, it doesn't matter if I accidentally do that, because the settings are locked in. So that was a very pleasant surprise, because I've been so annoyed with how difficult it is to, especially when I'm holding the camera with just one hand. So this is 40mm again. Just trying to pan very slowly and see how steady I can make it, and how much the enhanced digital stabilization will help me. We have some pretty big waves. So I'm very happy with this old lens. Whenever I have used other lenses, I always keep missing this lens, because I think it's very sharp, and the auto function is snappy. And I like the fact that I have this zoom range all the way up to 40mm. Even though, of course, the tiny little 16mm is very light and makes for a very good vlogging lens. But I prefer this lens. But it is very heavy to hold it like this. I'm just holding it by the lens with my arms stretched all the way out. And what I want to test is, what if I don't stretch my arm all the way out? Something like this. It is too tight, but it's more comfortable to hold the lens with a 90-degree angle in my elbow. So I forgot to mention that I'm shooting in just a normal color setting. I'm not using the C-Log 3 because I haven't really figured out how to color correct. But that's something I want to experiment with eventually, and would be very nice and fun if I mastered the art of color correcting. So now I'm sitting about 10 meters away, more or less, or maybe 5-6 meters away from the camera. I think I have the camera on 28 millimeter. This is one of my favorite things to do whenever I just want to relax and wind down after a long and stressful day at work. Just to come here and look at the view, enjoy the sunset, listen to the sound of the breaking waves. Someone has stacked some stones on top of each other. It's a very typical human trait, always wanting to leave your mark. So this is not the worst thing. It's better than tagging or doing some more intrusive things. There, I have contributed. So the colors on the sky is starting to change as the sun is getting even lower on the horizon. So it's very apparent that we are at low tide, because the other day when I was here during the storm, all of this was covered in water, and the waves were breaking over this thing, and I was standing all the way back there on the shore, and I got splashed with seawater. But now I could walk all the way out there, but these rocks are wet and very slippery, so I don't want to take any risks at slipping and falling here. I don't know what this was used for, but it looks like some kind of mooring place for ships or something, because of those things on the top there. Wow. Just want to bring the camera a little bit closer. Looks like the tide is coming in. We don't get very big tidal shift here in this part of the world because we are so far north. So I think it's time that I start heading back to the car, but I think I will go to the backside of these sand dunes just to have a change of scenery on the way back. So this is the landscape on the back side of the sand dunes. You can see they are farming all the way down to the sand dunes, to the coast. So this is the type of grass that is growing on all these sand dunes. It's a very rough type of grass with sharp points. So the Norwegian name, or at least the name we use here in this region, Marehalm, means mare grass, like the same word that we have in nightmare. I don't know why. Maybe it's because people, if you're walking barefoot, you'll get stung. Actually, I think we can see here the root system of Marehalm. How it binds the sand. It's always very relaxing to go behind the sand dunes after a long walk on the beach. You do get a little bit tired of the sound of the breaking waves, and also maybe the wind, even though the wind wasn't that heavy today. But when you get behind the sand dunes, everything calms down. You can shelter from the wind and just enjoy peace and quiet. It's quite good exercise walking in these sand dunes, because you keep going up and down, up and down, and even though you're not, even if you're walking slowly, you can feel your breath increasing. And there's a lot of people who are out jogging in these sand dunes. Well, the biggest difference I have noticed when I'm comparing the R6 Mark II to the R8, I have to say it's the battery capacity, because I've been out now shooting for quite a while. I think I've been here almost 1.5 hours, and I still have 2 bars on the battery counter, and that's a big step up compared to the R8. I'm sure I would have had to change the battery a long time ago. So the light is dimming very quickly now, so I think I've done all the filming I can do today. And I'm quite eager to go back home and have a look at the footage, and especially look at the stability, how stable the footage is, if it's still very jerky, and also if there's any vignetting on the footage when I'm using this wide angle lens. So the sun just disappeared behind the horizon, and now it's quite dark. I am getting close to Sele Harbour, where I parked the car. Just a few hundred meters more to go. So this is Sele Harbour, finally. I'm quite tired from walking up and down all those sand dunes, and also walking on the pebblestone. Well, it suddenly occurred to me that I could have cranked the ISO up. It's very typical of me, never thinking about all the settings I can adjust. So now I'm shooting at ISO 3200.